We have been invited to a very special ceremony, and unless you'd lived in rural Thailand yourself, you've probably never seen a ceremony like this. This is actually a wedding, and there are quite a mix of unique traditions that are very specific to this location because we're in Khmer, Buradam. So it's a mix of Khmer tradition with a mix of Buddhist tradition. And we're about to see it all today. We've been invited to take a close look of this young couple that are getting married. So as the band warm up with their traditional Isan instruments and people prepare the food for everybody that is attending the wedding, it is in time for a very interesting and important part of the ceremony, and that is the parade. So this parade, everybody walks around all the different roads of the village, and the whole point of it is to let everybody know that this lady is no longer available, that the husband is marrying her, and so nobody can. This ceremony is known as He Kan Mark, and it is the chance for them to walk around and tell the village that we're getting married, she's spoken for, so stay away. While the procession continues, it's time to count the sin sword, guys. So for those that are not familiar with the sin sword, this is the money that is paid to the family during the wedding in order for their daughter to be married off. In this case, this couple is a couple in their mid-20s, they're a young couple, and they met at school. They went off to work in Bangkok together in order to raise the sin sword. They worked together in order to raise it and then give it to the parents. In some cases, the parents will give the sin sword back to them, and they will be able to use it to start their life as a new family. But the sin sword is a sign that you can show the parents that you can take care of the wife and that you're a responsible husband that will be able to take care of his family, that you are financially capable of looking after your family. There's a lot of misinterpretation around the sin sword. In some cases it's given back, in some cases it's not. It is a very deep Thai tradition that has a lot of history. Now the common question is, well, how much is the sin sword? And the answer is that it varies from couple to couple, person to person. This particular sin sword is around 400,000 baht, which is a lot of money for these local Thais that have saved and saved in order to have this wedding. I've heard of sin swords as low as 100 to 200,000. But I've also heard of sin swords up to $10 million. So I've heard of a very rich multi-millionaire, if not billionaire, that has built a number of houses close to our village. And his sin sword, he paid in the millions of dollars. So it really is to what the man can afford, what is his work, what is his monthly salary, and that is what is paid as the sin sword. Usually, not everybody pays sin sword. If it's not requested, then it isn't required. This is a negotiation that takes place between the husband and the family. And once an amount is set, that is the amount that is paid. And so here comes the groom at the end of his procession. He's got all his best men around him, or their equivalents, and all the villagers are dancing. You can see the big boombox with the many speakers, which lets everybody know in the village that there is a party happening. The groom here, you can see, is wearing the red suit, and he's on his way to the next part of the ceremony, which actually I think is one of the most interesting parts of the ceremony. It's known as barring the groom. So when the groom has arrived at the bride's house, he has to walk through some symbolic doors. The bridesmaid and the bride put this together beforehand, and they will not let the groom pass easily until the groom either gives them money or does something that they want. For example, shout, "I love you," to the bride. So you're going to see them doing this now. It's a lot of fun for the villagers here.
อยากให้เจ้าบ่าวเต้นให้ดูหน่อย
Now that the door ceremony is complete, a feet washing ceremony will be held. During this, the groom stands upon a banana leaf and stones, with his bride bowing below him, washing his feet and symbolizing her respect for him. While this happens, the sinsod is then presented to the guests, showing that the groom can financially support his new bride, and as mentioned, this sinsod is often returned. The feet washing ceremony is also about the groom being welcomed into the bride's family. And so you might ask, how is all of this funded? How do they afford to do this big wedding? And the partial answer to that is that all of the guests contribute something. So you could say that the wedding is crowdfunded. Some guests will give 200 baht, some guests will give 400 baht. DAMO and I put 1,500 baht, which is the maximum amount that you can put in. And that gets you a nice seat at the table close to the bride and groom, and includes all of your food for the ceremony. You add it all together of all of the people and you've got quite a party. The instruments that you see playing here are all handmade, and this is traditional Thai folk music. So they all come together, they practice, and they play at many different ceremonies. They play at funerals and other special events if somebody requests it. They're not actually paid anything, but they will get a little bit of lao khao and some food for their trouble. So what you're seeing here is the parents of the bride are giving the wedding garlands to the groom, and the parents of the groom are giving the wedding garland flowers to the bride. And this is the blessing of the wedding, the acceptance of the bride and groom into each other's family, and blessing them for prosperity, good luck, and hopefully a healthy marriage. Next, the chairman of the ceremony gives the ceremonial headdresses to the couples. This is to signify the joining of the couple, and they will also go on to pour holy water on them. You're also going to see the chairman of the ceremony write something on the groom's head. This is a blessing for prosperity and good luck for the couple. You may notice that the headdresses are actually joined. They have a line that is going between them both, and that is the joining of the bride and groom, of course. The village people of rural Thailand are a strong community. They think about things in terms of community, and they do things in terms of community. This is very much like the acceptance of this couple into the village, into the community, and acceptance by the community. They're always up for having a good time, having a dance, drinking some lao khao, and enjoying themselves together. They're very simple people, but they're very happy people. They don't have much and they don't need much to enjoy life. It's the simple things like food, music, gathering together as a community, and nature that makes these people, to me, very special. I can't emphasize enough how much the village actually behaves like a family. In many cases, they are all related. Many of them are actual direct relatives of Damo and her family. But even those that are not are still part of a wider family, a wider village and community. Many things here are done communally. For example, if somebody in the village dies, everybody puts in a little bit of money to support the family that's left behind. This is a communal idea. It's governed by the chief of the village, and it's not something that we know so much in the West, where perhaps the government would pay something or an insurance policy will pay something. They work at things in terms of community. As I've said, in many ways, this marriage itself and this ceremony is crowdfunded by the village. Though they don't have a lot, they're very open to giving and making sure everybody has a good time. Now let's remember, these people are people of the rice fields. We are situated here in Buriram out in the rice field. Rice is the lifeblood of these people. They grow the rice, they harvest the rice, they eat the rice, together they sell the rice. It is a fundamental part of living in rural Thailand. And so how fitting that it is thrown here like we throw confetti at a wedding in the UK or the USA. It's thrown in celebration and rejoicement. It is the bringing of provision of food to the family and wealth to the family. This is rice, sesame, green peas, all thrown to represent abundance. It's symbolic for abundance and prosperity to the bride and to the groom. Next, they're on to the Thai blessing ceremony. You would recognize this ceremony from housewarmings or when there's a baby born. This is a very similar blessing ceremony. The hands are held together with string, and string is rubbed upon them with petals and flowers and holy water. And this is again representing prosperity and wealth. You can see there is money attached to the little bangle around the wrist. This is about prosperity and wealth for the couple. As you can see now, there is a theme with these blessings and ceremonies. It really is all about good luck and prosperity and wishing abundance to the new couple and the family. So there is a step in this ceremony that we cannot actually show you on camera because it is private. It involves the groom going to the bedroom, waiting on the bed, and the parents of the bride taking her into the bedroom and proceeding to give them life lessons on a happy, healthy marriage, things that they've learnt over time. People will then queue up and one by one give well wishes to the bride and the grooms and bless them personally. And finally, the bride and the groom will sit with the mother and father and wai, and give them the Thai wai of respect. I can tell you that DAMO has really enjoyed this wedding. It's been quite a ceremony and quite something to see and learn about. We hope that you have enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support of this content and we hope you get something from it. Stay well, guys.
Ooh. I'm out here.